Hi, my name's Abby and I work for Compass. My role within Compass is the engagement worker. This means that I educate young people and professionals on drugs and substances in a variety of different settings, including schools, youth groups, and workplaces. This PowerPoint is all about how young people may get involved with substances through social media. We hope it is helpful and that you enjoy the content. Here's a little bit of information about Compass. Compass are commissioned by the Warwickshire County Council. We are a confidential service that offers support to young people up to the age of 25 who are using substances. We do outreach work, which means seeing individuals where they are most comfortable. This could be a coffee shop in town or at school or home. We support young people who are affected by another person's substance misuse. We also offer support to parents and carers who have children that may be using a substance, and we have the core service, Compass Stars, and Youth Justice, which also offers equine therapy.
Hi, my name is Abby and I'm a cybercrime advisor within Warwickshire County Council's Community Safety Team, and my role is funded by the Police and Crime Commissioner. I deliver the Warwickshire Cybercrime Action Plan to tackle cybercrime and provide safety information through initiatives in order to prevent and reduce risk of harm to individuals and organisations, as well as mapping issues across the county to establish key safety messages for various groups of residents. The initiatives to achieve these goals include training sessions like general cyber safety and prevent online grooming, posting safety and awareness information on our social media platforms and the CyberSafe Warwickshire website, and developing safety awareness campaigns based on current and prevalent cyber issues affecting the community. By the end of the session, we aim to develop your understanding of how social media is used as a marketplace for illicit drugs and the impact this is having on young people, to explain how young people can be recruited through social media and explain what County Lines is, to further your knowledge on the types of drugs involved, and to signpost where to seek help and support if a young person is taking substances or is being exploited through County Lines. As a result of the pandemic, drug dealers are increasingly moving their business to the online space and utilising social media to advertise and sell drugs, as well as recruit and exploit young people into County Lines activity. Social media has made it easier for young people to buy drugs. Dealers can be found in an accessible way through messaging, and young people believe that they can vet the dealer by looking through their profiles before making contact. 1 in 4 young people reported that they see illicit drugs advertised for sale on social media, with St Giles stating that social media, the music industry, and film and entertainment within popular culture are all key platforms where the selling of drugs and County Lines criminal activity, in general, is glamorised. So, what social media apps are involved? The main apps currently involved in selling drugs online are Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook. For these platforms, dealers will advertise the drugs by posting videos, photos, and statuses on their social media feeds, as well as to their stories. This allows them to promote the drugs they are trying to sell, and young people can then comment on the posts, reply to the story, or direct message the seller. Once a young person has made contact, the seller will then move the line of communication over to encrypted messaging apps such as WhatsApp, so that the conversation is now completely private. It's also useful to keep in mind that online games are also being utilised by dealers, such as Fortnite and Roblox being used to target young people and begin that line of communication. Now we'll look at how the apps are used to sell drugs. It has become easy for drug dealers to establish themselves on various social media apps and expand their reach to young people. On Instagram and Facebook, sellers use hashtags which can be looked up through the search bar tool to reach existing and new customers, widening the seller's reach. As previously mentioned, it promotes a glamorized lifestyle as seen in music videos and entertainment, and young people can easily communicate online, meaning it takes away that street corner aspect. County lines is a term used to describe gangs involved in exporting or moving illegal drugs into one or more importing areas using dedicated mobile phone lines or other forms of deal lines. As mentioned earlier, there are many apps that gangs can use in order to reach a wider network or audience of people. Gangs may try to use several different ways to engage with new potential employees, such as comments, direct messages, or even voice notes or through headsets. Gangs usually come from larger cities or towns and infiltrate smaller towns and villages in order to cover a larger scale, sell more drugs, and recruit young people, and by doing this, they can make more money. They often exploit vulnerable adults and children to traffic, store, and deal drugs, and will use violence, intimidation, weapons, and coercion to gain control of a person. The individuals recruiting young people are very good at making someone trust them, but of course it is a form of manipulation in order for them to get what they want. Unfortunately, some individuals involved with county lines do not realise this until it's too late. Here we have the grooming line. This can be used for child sexual exploitation. However, it is also applicable for recruitment into county lines and criminal exploitation. With the online space, it is incredibly easy for a dealer to make contact and target a young person and begin the process. As we've discussed in the previous slides, young people can be targeted through various social media platforms and online games for dealers to make that initial contact and find any vulnerabilities that young person may have and exploit it. Once they have targeted them, they then seek to befriend a young person by offering things like protection and other things they may need. Once a friendship has formed, it is then about the dealer gaining their trust and becoming someone that young person depends upon. Once that young person is dependent on the dealer, they then begin to isolate them from friends and family and maintain control for criminal exploitation, and will do this by possibly using threats, intimidation, incentives, and coercion to keep them engaged in that new lifestyle. Even if the young person wants to break out, it becomes more and more difficult to do so.
As we know, there are many different types of drugs that may be used in relation to county lines. Class A drugs are heavily involved with county lines and may include heroin and cocaine or crack cocaine. Other drugs that may be involved are cannabis, MDMA and amphetamines. Cannabis may be the most seen drug on social media and is commonly pushed by dealers as it is the most popular drug of choice for young people. However, the Class A's may make more money. Drugs, money and expensive items may be shown on different social media platforms to entice young people. These posts glamorise the lifestyle to tempt young people into recruitment. As stated on the slide, young people are being shown how selling drugs can make a person more respectable and more powerful. Heroin, cocaine, MDMA are all Class A substances, which mean that they carry a life sentence if an individual is caught supplying and producing these. Carrying these drugs could get a person up to 25 years in prison. Cannabis and amphetamines are Class B drugs. This means that they carry a 14-year prison sentence if an individual is caught supplying and producing these. There is more information about this on the next slide. This slide shows the law on drugs. It explains the classes of drugs and what sentence those drugs may carry. Of course, this is very black and white as there are lots of different circumstances that will affect the sentence an individual may get, such as if they have offended before or if they have already had a caution or warning from the police. Psychoactive substances are in their own category at the bottom. They were known as legal highs but are now known as psychoactive substances. Snapchat is used heavily as a recruitment channel, with gangs posting clips of children in trap houses with new trainers, piles of money and weapons. Once the children are recruited, social media is often used to coerce and blackmail them and track their movements. Smartphones are also being used as tracking devices through apps like Find My Friends to monitor the movements of children transporting and selling drugs across the country. This practice, known as remote mothering, sometimes involves young people being forced to live stream their movements 24 hours a day on WhatsApp or FaceTime. Gang members send children pictures of their mother's front door when they are on an operation and threaten to firebomb the house if they stop working for them. Young people are told their phone must be switched on and charged at all times, and they must answer within 2 rings, or they are threatened with violent repercussions. This slide shows that there are lots of different words that are used in relation to county lines and drug use. Some of these are used by young people in everyday language, however, some are specific to drug talk or slang. This slide shows some signs to look out for when trying to uncover if a young person is involved with county lines. With this, we normally say it would be 2 or more of these signs together, as we know some of these may occur in day-to-day life. For example, if a young person plays sports at school, they may come home with an injury. Sometimes it is nothing to worry about, and as we know, sometimes young people can be tricky to understand, which is why we say that 2 or more of these signs put together could be a worry. So, who can help? We have put together a list of different services that can help if you think that a young person is involved with county lines. Compass can help if a young person is taking substances. You can call the police on 101 or 999 in an emergency. If you suspect a child may be being exploited in county lines, you can report this to Crime Stoppers anonymously. If you are concerned about a child, you can call the NSPCC. St Giles will also help with any county lines inquiries. Mind may help for mental health queries, and you can also report it to social media sites. If you want to find out more about crime statistics, county lines, or anything relating to crime, then Fearless is a great website and resource. It has an A to Z of crime, an area to anonymously report anything relating to crime or county lines, a youth support service section, and it also has resources for professionals. The website is linked on the slide. Thank you for listening to us today. Hopefully some of the information provided has been helpful to you in some way. If you would like all of this information we have discussed today, we have an accompanying leaflet outlining all of the topics covered, and that will be linked in the description below. Thank you.